So key, I just focus on one thing today, which is simplicity, as Darren mentioned before. What did Leonardo say about simplicity? Remember that old chestnut? Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication, right? It's not easy. Simplicity is actually hard. So this is how we say it in Japanese. Shimpuru ni suru koto wa shimpuru de wa nai. Can you all read that? Can you all say it? Let's all say it. Say no. Shimpuru ni suru koto wa shimpuru de wa nai. Okay, now let's do it in the Yoda voice. Say no. Shimpuru ni suru koto wa shimpuru de wa nai. I'm not sure he said that, but yeah, simplicity good, but simple it is not. It is hard to be simple, but that's something you must do because it's not about you, it's for the audience. So what is simplicity? I don't mean the definition of it, but I think the feeling of it. People get confused with simplistic and simplicity, so they're very afraid to be simple. But simplistic comes from a different place. I think it comes from a place of not knowing, so we are too simple. Maybe students do this often. They don't go deep enough because they didn't have enough information. Or maybe we're just lazy or don't pay enough attention. And often, for example, maybe with politicians or cable news and so on, and advertising, it might even be deception. And they're too simple. But I think of simplicity coming from a different kind of place. It comes from, it's like a jazz musician who's an amazing jazz musician, but instead he just does simple whole note chords. Phone, right? Phone, fa boo, ba ba ba. Very simple, but it's very deep and very beautiful rather than trying to show off to do something that might be more difficult. So it really is about the audience. What is easy for them, right? And then of course it comes from a different spirit. It comes from, I do know, and I am aware, but I choose to remove, or I choose to cut for the time being. Not to deceive, but to make it easier for you. So the real question then becomes this question of inclusion and exclusion. And leaving things out is what's often most important. So let's look at an example of making the simple complicated. This is simple data. Very simple. So please tell me, please compare Japan to the United States. Taxes on average worker. That's very simple. Okay. And now your brain's working really hard, so you think, well, this must be important because I'm confused. The data is simple. Same data presented this way. Now compare Japan and the US. In an instant. You don't even have to think about it. You can think about what the data means rather than trying to figure out the chart. You could put it this way, just as another example. This is maybe typical kind of slide, and then a more simplified way, right? And then boom, you get the idea. So Einstein said, make everything as simple as possible, but say no, right? No simpler. So that doesn't seem very helpful. It seems very Yoda-like, because you have to decide how simple. No one can. I can't tell you how simple. You are closest to your data, to your story. So can you be simple? Yes, of course you can be too simple. Here's an example. How many of you have an iPhone? A lot of you have iPhone. You have an iPad or iPod and a shuffle. How many people have a shuffle? Well, what if you put those two things together? The iPhone and the iPod, or the iPod and a shuffle. No, iPhone and a shuffle. Why not an iPhone shuffle? So here's a parody on that, and how it would look.
Well, now Apple has a revolutionary new product, the iPhone Shuffle. To make a call, simply press the call button. It's the only button the iPhone Shuffle has. When you make a call, iPhone Shuffle shuffles your contacts, randomly picks a number, and dials it. Who is this? You called me. I know, on my new iPhone Shuffle.
Okay, that would be too simple. So yes, you can be too simple. But it's up to you to decide. This is the book I recommended before, by the way. I only have about 10 minutes or 15 minutes, and I'm going to skip ahead. I'm just going to try to give you useful bits to take away the visual. We'll just do some fun stuff here. That's kind of fun. But that's actually, oh, this is pretty fun. Oh, that was a good one. What a shame. Oh, it's a shame. But let me just, it's good stuff, that. But okay, how about this? You can participate in this. 10 ways to use images ineffectively, images poorly, right? So what are some ways that you've seen? People use images, but they use it in an ineffective way.
Too small.
Too small? Too big? Too many?
They don't match what they're supposed to
Don't match what they're talking about, right? Yeah, I love that one. Distracting or animations, and on and on. Okay, let's look. These don't have animation, but these are 10 really popular ways to use images poorly. So this is like the base. No, this is not used ineffectively. This is the base. No, you have to know the context. Without context, there's no meaning. God, this audience is a bit twisted. You guys over there, I'm calling the police. The context is the fertility rate in Japan is very low, as you know, one of the lowest in the world, and getting lower. Colleges are going to close, actually. There are not enough students. This is a big problem. So this is what this person was talking about. That was the context. That's why there's school children here, and they're talking about, that's the context. So just using this as a base. So we say, okay, that's okay. What's wrong with this one? As you said, too small. This one, sort of random, just kind of thrown in there. Some people do that. This one, okay. So it was small, got it from the internets, make it big. Well, that one, never, never do that. Don't ever, ever, ever do that. Never, never, never. This one, Japanese children are getting very short and wide. Stretch. Or Japanese children are getting too tall. Okay, so don't stretch out. This one, you can do this in PowerPoint. It's called tiling in PowerPoint or Keynote. I don't know why. There's absolutely no reason for that. And by the way, with PowerPoint can be effective. You must ignore about 98%. Seriously, I mean seriously, you do not need 98% of it. Today I use about 3% of the tool. That's it. That's all you ever need. They have to make money, so they put more and more features that you absolutely don't need. How about this one? Maybe that's why the fertility rate is so low, actually. Nothing wrong with that, but no, this would be an example, as someone said, it's just kankenai. There's no relation, it's just a cliche. This one, the cheesy clip art, right? And this one, I don't know. Okay, yeah, don't do that. And then this one is almost a full bleed, but not quite. So yeah, if you make it big, make it big. It's called a full bleed in the print world. Go off the screen. Gives the impression of a much bigger slide. And then the other thing is we can learn from designers many things. There are many, many lessons. One of them is empathy, this idea of putting yourself in other people's shoes. So the example I often use is this. This was a remote control device in one of these old packages. And I couldn't open the package. I mean, I finally opened it, but I cut my finger, and I really hated this product. I hated the brand by the time I opened it. So Larry David had the same problem. You can see him experiencing this. Right. So the question is, what are you doing that makes your audience feel like that? You know, you could be a web developer, a designer, whatever, but what are you doing that makes your customer feel like that, or your audience, or your students feel like that? This was a very selfish reason. This was cheap for the company to do, very efficient for them, but it was never in the best interest of the customer. So now, as you know, Amazon outlawed these. They don't take them. You can still buy this kind of stuff, but not on Amazon. It was not good for the customer. Okay, so I got about 7 or 8 minutes. We'll just skip around delivery. Oh, that's good. I hate to go. Cut that. That's good. I'll just go right here. So the third book, or the fourth book, or something, was The Naked Presenter. It's been out for about 6 months. In Japanese, it comes out next month, called Hadaka no Presenta. And in that, I go over the 10 P's of delivery. So it focuses on delivery. And there are a lot of words that begin with P. One of them is preparation. It's actually 11, but so I'm not including this one. Preparation, that's a given. That's obviously important. But what are some other P words that are important in terms of delivery especially? Every good presentation must have these P words. Now, I was in Milan a few months ago, and someone shouted out, "Porn!" And the audience just erupted in laughter and appreciation. So that is not one of them, unless you're in Italy. Pizzazz. What are some other? Lots of P words.
Personality.
Personality.
Posture.
Posture, right. Excellent. More. Think of it. Pizza. More.
Price point.
What's that?
Price point.
Price point. Yeah, it could be, sure. Price point.
Politeness.
Politeness? Oh, excellent. Oh, yes. Very good, I must say. Passion. Right, we could go on and on like this. There are so many P words. For some reason, yeah, persuasion, persuasiveness. PowerPoint, yeah, or powerful, right? Anyway, so many. So, here's the ones I came up with. Punch, presence, projection, passion, as you said, proximity, play, pace, participation, and power, and then persistence and getting better. So you never give up. So I'll finish by just going through a few of those, and then we will wrap it up. So these are in the book. That's how I outlined the Naked book, that it's called. So the first thing is preparation. As I said, that's a given. The most important thing in this one, is the arc. Move from to move to. Before, after. How are you trying to change the audience? This is what you're deciding in the preparation stage. Okay, but anyway, then we need to make a connection, right? How many times is connection missing in your classes or a presentation? So we connect with punch, presence, projection. Punch is an acronym. So the P is for personal, so tell a personal story, whatever, but somehow it's not, you're not just reading, but it's actually part of you. Unexpectedness, we love surprises, say something unexpected, do something unexpected. New information, novelty, challenge assumptions, somehow get people thinking. Right from the start, you want to do something that gets people thinking. And humor. And now humor you have to be careful with. Of course, everyone says, I don't believe in jokes. I don't like jokes. They're always dodgy. But if you're a humorous person, like Darren or like Steve, right? If you know, go ahead and let that out, right? The presence, what we mean by that is to be in this moment right here, right now, such as Ichigo Ichie. This chance never comes again. So you're not thinking about the past presentation or the future presentation, only this presentation. Then we engage with passion, proximity, and play. So play, I mean, who likes to play here? Who likes to play? How many of you think work and play are opposites? Anyway? Okay. Yeah, but isn't that a shame? So I forget who wrote the book, the famous psychologist, but he said the opposite of play is not work, it's depression. Or the opposite of work is not play, it's depression. Right? So these are the same things. In my life, it's the same. When I worked at Apple, I mean, I worked very, very hard, but it was also fun. Kind of like college. At least for me, I know many of us, college was fun. We worked really hard. But it was also in a way fun, because it was rewarding. So I think they can be the same.
If you had a lot of fun, you didn't work very hard.
Right?
It's not hard work, it's fun.
Yeah, well, see, we can talk about I disagree with you, and I think that's old thinking. But we can talk about it. So we are born to play. I have a little child. You know, she doesn't work. She's learning all the time, learning through play. But then we go to school, and then we go to college, and then we go to grad school, and then we go to the office, and then we go to the conference, and then we get really bored. But this guy, Bill Buxton, is a famous designer, a very famous UI designer. He's now at Microsoft. He's been everywhere. As he says, this stuff is too important to take seriously. This stuff means our work. He's serious. This is actually the picture when he was on stage in Las Vegas shouting this. That our work is too important to take seriously. It's like, what? That seems like an opposite. But what he meant is you have to explore, you have to innovate, you have to explore, you have to play. That's how you discover new ideas. And as Confucius said, you know this old chestnut, if I hear, I forget, I see and I remember, but if I do, I understand. We could change that to play. So do, right? Do or do not do, as Yoda would say, right? There is no try. So we are naturally born to play, but then we go to school, we wonder why people are bored, and this kind of situation. But then look at the walls that we put in many presentations. There's one wall, here's another wall, and looking down at notes, a piece of paper, there's another wall. We put all this distance in between us and the audience. Things like smile, of course, are important. This is Dreams Come True. I've actually written for their magazine. Apparently, they're fans of the presentation. They have the books, as I talk a lot about them. And I'll be working with them in the future. But they're amazing because of their smiles. It's a natural smile. It's not a fake smile. You know the difference between a natural and a fake smile, right? So why is this a real one? So this part's the same, whether it's fake or real. We can't tell from the mouth. These muscles are the same. But it's the eyes, yes. So I have a lot of wrinkles. I mean, I'm only 21, but I laugh a lot. So I have a lot of wrinkles. But I love these guys. It's just infectious. I go to so many of their concerts. We have all their DVDs. So this is my child, my daughter, when she's about 1. We watched the DVDs together. Here she's giving me a fake smile. I think that's fake, so you can tell. But then there's the real one. See the difference? It's all in the eyes. That's the difference right there. Okay, things like proximity. So many times, you know, we get behind a podium or we're really far. If we have visuals, we're very far removed. So you want to get close, as Steve Jobs does, right in front. But to do that, you need the screen. Well, he has the screen here, just as I do, just as you. When you present, you can put the projector here or the notes here or your screen. No one can see that. So you don't have to turn around so much, right? There it is.